giving
Yeah, I
them
think
that
that's
direction.
spot on.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's finding that balance, right? So you can't just let them loose
Yeah.
because they got their own devices. You're the writer, you're the master of the fate here. You're the storyteller, but at the same time, you got to let them be. So finding that balance between the two is tricky. And when I talk to writers, they're either at one extreme or the other. And I think finding that nice mix is really makes for a great book and a great writer. I have a general idea as to the story. It's got a big arc with some milestones, and I picture it in my head like a movie pretty much. So I know where it's headed more or less. And then I set the characters loose, and sometimes the characters will surprise me, and all of a sudden they might veer off, and there's new problems that they got to solve. I go from problem to solution to the next problem that solution created, and that keeps the action kind of dynamic and emergent and fun. And it's not the outline that's telling the story. It's this feedback between the characters and their goals, the obstacles that are in their way, and then the dramatic dynamic as they try to get what they want.
Yep. Yep. And so as a result, I write very linear, because each decision the characters make influence the story going forward. So that's how I know, okay, how to kind of plan for the next chapter is like, okay, in this chapter they made this decision, which means these consequences are going to happen in these following chapters that they're going to have to deal with later. And it gets to the point where I don't even know the ending, up until like maybe a couple of chapters away from it. It's a little nerve-wracking sometimes. It's like, okay, I gotta figure out how all this comes together, how this all's gonna work. And it's usually a great moment when, I've just had this kind of percolating in my subconscious for a while, and then the light bulb happens, right? And you're like, okay, so yeah, and it just starts, yeah. So it's a little nerve-wracking, but it can make it a lot of fun when you have that moment of, oh, this is gonna happen, this is how this is gonna work. Okay, I like that.
What about the big themes? So in Virtual Rebel, it sounds like you're playing with this idea of video games, virtual reality, the Ready Player One stuff that you were mentioning, how our virtual lives or digital lives are getting enmeshed
Mm-hmm.
with our actual lives in kind of a creepy, unsettling way. It sounds like you're playing off that. It sounds like you also have a family dynamic that's going on with that. Did you draw on personal experiences? Are you trying to tap into cultural elements? How conscious were you of living in 2025 or 2024 when you wrote it? And how much of it was just kind of off the cuff? You're throwing characters into this situation, see what happens.
Well, Virtual Rebel, I did most or the beginning of my writing on Virtual Rebel in 2020.
Okay,
Yeah.
so pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
So you were writing in the past. This is a common theme I'm getting from a lot of writers,
Mm-hmm.
that there was this creative explosion. Like you had a lot of babies, and then you had a lot of books coming out.